I'm known as Kelson Emery's Gamer Dad. I'm basically trying to get a YouTube channel started. Basically, survival guides. I'm an older gamer that's been online gaming since '94. First few games were basically bulletin boards. You dial into a local bulletin board. They would have one or two phone lines. And basically, from there, we went on to role-playing on Prodigy chat. Eventually I found, what do you call it? I found multi-user dungeons. And it just kind of went on from there. I've been online gaming off and on for a long time. I've done World of Warcraft, I've done Elder Scrolls Online, I've played regular Elder Scrolls. I'm an avid reader, avid gamer, even a published author, The Haunting on X Avenue. So basically, this is what I'm going to do. I've just created a survival guide in vanilla Minecraft, something just to get people started. I don't know how far I'm going to go with that one. And I've created an initial starter guide here in Lemoncloud. 0 to 1,000,000 in an hour. But to be fair, if I'd really stayed focused, set goals, and tried a little harder, I could have probably did 0 to 1,000,000 in 30 minutes. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will just do one more setup. I might just abandon that. Put the 1,000,000 that I earned in a chest. Abandon that little area and do it again. Start out with just the starter kit, but today I just don't have the time. Yeah, I found this naturally occurring villager village, which is really gorgeous. And I know other players have passed it over, but I ran this by one of the admin helpers. They confirmed nobody ever built this. This is naturally occurring. This castle, I've taken it over, child-proofed it. You guys are welcome to come and trade with the villagers. Please don't try to grief. That right there is a pillager fortress. I've walled in as much as I can, but they still kind of spawn out here every once in a while. I don't know if that building is safe, quite frankly. I'm not sure I'm even really opening this up to other people. I'm claiming that building for my personal residence for this Java account, while my main remains in the tower and the treetop village. But I actually love this place because it's got these little houses. So I might open it up, invite only, to players that show some character. I have some serious trust issues with players because I've just seen too much griefing. But if I was going to open up letting players stay in the city, this one's already kind of built because I'm definitely not even this artistic. If you saw my treetop village, it looks like crap. but I love this. That's why I did this. So feel free to hit me up for a spot over here. All the villagers you want to kill, or all the pillagers you want to kill. There's all kinds of stuff here. I'm breeding desert villagers. That was kind of my whole goal for, and there's my little librarian. There he is. I really wanted to get another desert librarian. As I gain more claim blocks, I might look for places like this again. But there's some really cool possibilities on this place. Like that. Basically, this is sort of like a resort. It is really interesting. Interesting stuff. I need to go capture those camels and bring them up. A resort with target practice. That's my little tower that I used to bait my pillagers into falling into the death trap. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with all those ominous bottles. There's not really a market for them. But whatever. This is more of an extensive tour of this place, because there are all kinds of interesting little houses. Players just getting started. Might not be a bad little spot. I believe, I'm not sure, I'll have to sort out if I've got all the stations. I don't think I have a fisherman. I need to put a barrel out for a fisherman. But there's a villager economy available. Farmers, obviously, to spark breeding, because they're farming food. I might even put some composters on hoppers so we can actually get a steady supply of compost, but half the time it's just not worth it to even bother with it. People are not that interested. Once every couple of months somebody is looking for compost. And I do have an automatic composter at at the Treetop Village, where the villagers are dropping compost into a composter. It's selling for like $2 per compost, per bone meal, I guess. Yeah, $2 per bone meal. So, whatever. Oops, I got a trapped villager. Dude, that's just not sassy. Guess I can't break that until I break this. Can you get out now? No, you're stuck? This is a village idiot. Come on, get over. Get over. Move. Move, 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 move. 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 You can get out. I don't know. I'm kind of tempted with the village idiots to just collect them and take them outside of the walls and send them on their long walk. And go play with the pillagers. Or the night mobs. So, this is the villager castle. This is their dormitory. There's still a couple extra beds, so they're still breeding it up. I'm probably going to catch occasional villagers and put them in a for sale chest so people can have it on an unprofessioned villager that they can do with what they want. I actually do have a swamp villager breeder. I literally just set up a tree house for that. And that's all I did. I didn't do a big community like this. I just made a treehouse surrounded with farmlands, and I walled them in. And so every once in a while I'll visit them. The idea was to create a swamp villager librarian. And my hope was to train them up and get mending books. So we will see with that. I've got so many plates spinning, half the time I forget to focus on another plate. I'm like, oh, this one, there's that one, there's this one. But this I didn't have to build. I'm just exploiting the beautiful build already, because I admit I am a terrible builder. I build for function, and that's it. If there's a player that I decide to trust enough to actually beautify up my treetop village, I think I'll finish the treetop village for the function, and I will eventually find a player, an artistic builder, who could beautify it up for me, so that it doesn't look like crap. Because I still want to do the treetop village. The idea with the treetop village was either the Wookiees' Kashyyyk treetop village, or the Ewoks Endor treetop village. Either one was kind of similar. Tree house. Alright, so here's my modest XP farm. And right now I don't have a mob hopper. I do have one, but I just don't deploy it. So you can hit that and get props. If you've decided not to behave again, like they always do, it's not even worth it half the time. I've got blazes, I've got about 13 enemies right now. Spiders, hurting him. Literally nothing. Just, I guess she just hurt him. That'd be me. Spiders, zombies, I haven't bothered with the livestock because I don't have the rank to make them available for XP farm yet. Let's see here. Oh, iron is full. I gotta sell that. Back on my mind, made to sell the iron. Anyway, let's go up here. Got some villagers, farmers, master farmers right now. Got some librarians. There's a librarian there. I think that's an armorer. That is a priest. There, priest. This one's shepherd, so they do like looms and stuff like that. That is my desert librarian that I'm trying to train up for the tree house. Basically I found this place. That was sort of my first tower that I built out of the cobblestone that I mined out of the resource world. That is a player who got mad at me and made a useless pumpkin farm that they do nothing with, just to block my expansion, which I was mad at the time, and I was saving all my claim blocks, but now I have to thank them, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have eventually started exploring out, looking for like desert locations to try to create a desert breeder, and I found that unclaimed city. So thank you, you did me a favor. The reason why this player was mad at me was this right here. It was just the block wall. It had been there maybe a month after I had made my little mud hut down there. Turned into a wood hut. Eventually turned into the deep slate tower, complete with the glass that I mined. And so this wall just sat there month after month, and it had been claimed for a couple months, and then after a while it was unclaimed for a couple of months. And I was already working on this tower, which I was originally making out of spruce logs, until I hit a piece of flooring on my treetop village that also was made out of spruce logs. It lumberjack enchanted axe, which took out a whole floor. Realized my mistake. Realized that lumberjack works on all logs, whether it's natural or stacked. So I think I had it built up to about there with spruce logs. So I went ahead and just applied my lumberjack and just went down and down and down and down and down, and rebuilt it with planks, because the lumberjack does not take out chunks. I mean, the lumberjack one, I think it takes about 3 layers at a time. So yes, don't make it out of. So this is going to be disguised as a giant tree. I'm going to start putting out leaves. It's going to be a giant tree among these trees, and yes, I know. Maybe I should have just went with like brown terracotta. That would have worked. Dark brown terracotta would have looked pretty close to that. But it is what it is, and maybe someday I'll pay a builder and just say, hey, can you replace this with brown terracotta? I'll pay you $10 million. But anyway, I digress. This wall was unclaimed for a couple months. And I had acquired a bunch of claim blocks, and I didn't think about going out that way yet, but I was expanding out there, like there. It started saying I was conflicting with other claims if I tried to expand any further. There's somebody that I've got a neighbor, or had a neighbor. So I went out there until it said I was conflicting with claims. And I left my daughter's claim. She wants her own claim. She doesn't want to be in my claim. So I left her this little patch right here. So I started here, and I'm like, well, this hasn't been claimed for like 2 months. Just this wall. So I expanded all the way out and claimed all this stuff. And I found a naturally occurring zombie spawner, and there was chests, and the player who had this clearly had been using the spawner at one point. I don't know how long ago, but the whole thing was unclaimed. So I had claimed this and started fleshing this out. And about the day after, maybe 2 days after, that appeared. And I'm like, what? It goes by Sonicom, which is clearly a, what do you call it? An alt. And I'm not even sure if this guy is an alt, but there was 2 of these at one point. I think I knocked down one. But if you go to inspect, this is in between my claims because my daughter's claim is on the other side. So you have to have like a 20 block radius. Pancakes on toast. Place these dirts to make a ball and penis. Balls and penis. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going for. So I'm thinking Sonicom is pancakes on toast's alt. or somebody else's alt that was griefing. So yeah, I've got my little, yeah. Basically, my thought process is to build this tower all the way up to my pet house. I'm almost there, actually. I'm just busy adventuring and screwing around with other stuff. I've got my cactus farm on the inside of that bad boy. Obviously, I can only build so high because it's a chunk, and it just won't. I may even have to learn how to expand it all out to make the more advanced cactus farms. I've seen the better, wider cactus farms. It's just I haven't really bothered with it. So there is the beginnings of my iron golem build. This is basically as high up as you can go. Got my little fishing pond / pool. I haven't even bothered with the bed up here. I've got my goodies. This is technically my home. And just for giggles, this is the slower pumpkin breaker. This is my original villager breeder, which they make plains villagers. This is how I learned after seeing somebody else doing them in a straight line so that they all go in a row. Don't checkerboard your pumpkins because your villagers get trapped. Maybe don't build your pumpkin farm next to the villagers. What does this guy sell? He's a plains. I haven't really trained him up. So, yeah, I need to actually catch some of these and put them in a sell chest, so people can enjoy the joys and the pains of breeding villagers. My original death traps for the night mobs before I started getting spawners. My tower, which actually I can go up that ladder or I can go up this. I'm a big fan of water elevators. Soul sands for sale on the shop. That's what you use to go up. This was my original bedroom. Yeah, I know it sucks. But it had a bed, it had some chests, it had a view. Now, I made this sucker from the, what do you call it, the obsidian that I mined out of my resource world before I discovered that you could just buy obsidian. I made all of these out of the cows that I had to lure from 2 islands over and then kind of lure them down underground to keep them safe from night mobs and this, that, and the other thing. And I bred them up. I literally lured chickens and sheep over naturally. Not sure if I can get down this thing. Yeah, down. Thank you. Am I supposed to afford? I must afford. Thank. There it is. There it is. I made this out of the obsidian that I mined out of the resource world. I had all this stuff kind of built before I started looking into the shop and going, hey, can I buy this stuff? I learned the hard way. I broke this block. Splatter. I got lava in it. Okay. So there was a point in time where I thought about doing a base here, and I still might do that someday. I was kind of messing around, and I claimed some stuff here. And it's freaking fascinating. I haven't even bothered making a piglin farm. I could do that. Go up here. Go up to the roof. Make a thing, or what do you call it? A shaft. And tunnel up. Do a double shaft, that way if you hit lava and it drops down on you, you're on the other shaft. Or have enchanted gear on. So, I don't even bother with the switch up here. It's not even worth it. If I need to get away from something quickly, I'm going to drop in and close that. So, under here, it's a sheer drop into lava. I would actually like to flesh this out into some kind of a nether tower or something like that. See, there's the drop. There's nothing but air. There's soul sand over here. See, soul sand right there. I better get out of here before a ghast appears. I do not have my gear on. Keep forgetting. So yeah, that's my tour. There's a lot more. The last portion of the tour really can't happen without my gear on. There is a cavern underneath that treetop village. It's wide open. People can walk through it if they want. And it goes all the way down to bedrock. And then you can explore past it. I'm sort of tempted to take my motion sensors and spawning blocks and create a warden spawner down there. Maybe drop some prizes just for giggles. I don't know what to do with it. It's beautiful though. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's a ghast. But yeah, I think I've kind of reached the limit. Oh, why not? Let's just do this. There was a point in time where I was going to start training up the swamp librarian. And I might do that. If I train up a master swamp librarian that has enchants, or it has mending for sale. This is in the swamp biome. I just claimed a little patch. No big deal. I don't really need a lot. I just wanted a breeder, basically. Where is it? Is he? Weird. These guys are dropping their professions for some reason. We have to just go AFK here to see if I can get another swamp villager. It's sort of weird. When you go into a biome, According to my research with Gemini, Gemini was sure that they would just only produce the villager for that biome, but it is kind of a 50-50 chance that if you're using, like I have plains villagers, that's what I started out with. I started out with 2 plains villagers and bred them up to like 10 plains villagers and had them in my tower, that deep slate cobblestone tower, and they started coming up missing, and I wasn't quite done with that water elevator yet. I was still growing the kelp in it, and the villagers were getting stuck in the water and drowning. So I depopulated them, and I had to restart 2 more villagers. There was a player who's generous enough to just bring me to their breeder and just give me 2 villagers, which was nice. And this time I did that underground bunker and made it totally escape proof and child proof. And they've been just producing plains. The area looks like a savanna, but I guess it's plains. So I brought 2 plains villagers here, and every so often I get a swamp villager, and every so often I get another plains villager. I've got enough beds to where I'm increasing the chances, but I guess if I train up a master swamp librarian, I may post that one for 10 million, because it provides an endless supply of mending. So either way, I guess this is sort of the end of end of the tour. Yep, I build. As far as building is concerned, I'm definitely gonna start um, featuring some players' beautiful builds when I encounter them. I'll just run the record and kind of walk through their plays. I know I didn't do Fukustra justice because I didn't really do a full tour of her place yet. I just kind of checked out a building, and I may have panned outside a little bit, but that place is definitely a masterpiece, and it's brilliant stuff right there. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not sure if there's a witch house in this, but it would be a good place to find one. Oh well. Good place to end.